Negotiating on fumes. I'm John Saucier, Fox News. Is President Trump today giving his latest assessment of what he feels is an imminent deal with Iran at the White House and a cabinet meeting. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott with more.
The president said it's a conflict, not a war, and it's one where America holds the options.
They're negotiating on fumes, but we'll see what happens. Maybe we have to go back and finish it. Maybe we don't.
With Secretary of War Pete Hegseth sitting to his left, President Trump said the military is ready to re-engage, but he still feels a deal is close.
They are starting to give us the things that they have to give us, and if they do, that's great. And if they won't, then the man on my left is going to finish them off.
There are some in Congress, Republicans among them, who say reported details of Iran giving up uranium in exchange for sanctions relief too closely resembles the prior Iran deal. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
The efforts to contain the deadly and growing Ebola outbreak in Central Africa are picking up pace. Fox's Greg Palcott has more.
World Health Organization staffers are traveling to the eastern region of the Democratic Republic of Congo hit by the disease. The organization's chief posting the outbreak is outpacing the response. And here is what Secretary of State Rubio said at today's cabinet meeting.
The number one priority of our foreign policy is to protect the American people. We cannot and will not allow any cases of Ebola to enter the United States.
To that end, the U.S. has been tightening travel restrictions on those leaving the affected area. And yes, it is reported the Trump administration is set to deploy U.S. health officials to neighboring Kenya to staff a quarantine and treatment facility for Americans testing positive for the disease or those potentially exposed, rather than bring them back to the States to be handled there.
The World Health Organization says the number of suspected cases of Ebola is nearing 1,000 now, along with over 200 deaths. The Justice Department is once again suing the University of California, Los Angeles for allegedly not doing enough to combat antisemitism during campus protests in 2024. Fox's Anita Vogel has more details.
According to the lawsuit, many Jewish students claimed protesters, quote, kicked and slapped Jews, beat Jews with sticks, and assaulted Jews with pepper spray. It goes on to say one Jewish student was knocked unconscious and was taken to the hospital with an open head wound. The Trump administration alleges that UCLA leaders took, quote, no serious action whatsoever until weeks later when police finally cleared the campus, and that even then law enforcement officers were met with violence. In response, the UCLA Chancellor Julio Frank says, quote, the suggestion that UCLA has been passive in the face of anti-Semitism is simply wrong.
The Trump administration has previously sued UCLA over similar accusations. Seattle residents taking matters into their own hands, building barricades to block off their neighborhoods in response to a wave of shootings, prostitution, and street crime. City leaders calling the move illegal. Here's Fox's William Lajeunesse with more.
These barricades are illegal because residents didn't get a permit. But they did do two things. They stopped through traffic, but more importantly, they got City Hall's attention. Local TV, radio, they did this story. Why? Because the barricades are symbolic. They're not just four streets in a city of millions, but represent frustration with rising crime, roving gangs forcing these residents to erect metal barricades to protect themselves. For years, residents along Aurora Avenue begged the city to help stop the prostitutes, the pimps, the drug dealers from inundating their neighborhood. Problems started in 2020, critics say, when a progressive city council eliminated prostitution loitering laws in the name of inequality. They defunded police, reducing available officers by 25%.
The person has now died from injuries suffered when a chemical tank ruptured at a Washington state paper mill, raising the presumed death toll to 11. I'm John Saucier, and this is Fox News.